Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Europa Universalis for Great Britain. Great England. Damn it! Forgot my clever name. Before we go ahead and hit the unpause button, there is something I want to do with Buttonland and Potawatomi here. That would be, well, we're building temples away, to sell them to Newfoundland. There's really no advantage to having these two little chunks of land sitting around, and to be quite honest, Newfoundland would be able to administer these lands far better than us. So let's go ahead and get that started. We'll go to the economic action and we'll sell them a province. We'll sell them that. Can we do both? No, we cannot. You're not interested? They're not interested. They're interested in Potawatomi. But they're not at all interested in Buttonland. And I don't know why that would be. Buttonland is fur. Buttonland is English and they're Protestant. Just like Newfoundland. That's weird. Okay, well, regardless, we're going to sell them Potawatomi and then see if we can't offload Buttonland to someone else. Or if Newfoundland will smarten up and be like, hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea. We will take 40 ducats from our colony because, hey, we're not in the spirit of charity. After all. And there we go. So that's 40 ducats to our cause. And, yeah, basically, that's that. All right. Oh, we will accept a royal marriage with Austria. I can't see that hurting us at all. We can have 2 more diplomatic relations if we want. One thing I also noticed about lovely little Scotland here is they're a noble republic. Was not expecting that. But there's still that whole thing with the vassalization being off because of the base tax compared to Scotland. So there doesn't seem to be a way to get around that. It's not based upon our relations with them, which are great. It's just based upon whatever decides that. And for whatever reason, they're... sorry, just adjusting the volume in my headset. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, the Holy Roman Empire, our wonderful faithful ally, wants to go to war with Austria, Moldavia, the Teutonic Order, and Saxe-Lauenburg. Well, we have a royal marriage. Our war exhaustion would increase. And again, I mean, so here's the tricky thing, right? Both these nations came to my aid against Spain. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to keep allies with one of them. So, Austria is allied with Lithuania, Riga, Sicily, Muscovy, Netherlands, is a defender of the Catholic faith, and will protect Austria. This just seems, it seems like something that Britain doesn't need to get involved in. We don't have to necessarily directly get involved with it either. We could just use our Mediterranean fleet to do something. But it certainly won't be going after those Austrian lightships. So I'm not even sure what we could use our glorious fleet for. I don't really feel comfortable going to war with those guys. So we are going to decline and take the prestige hit. We're still sitting fairly okay on prestige. And it sucks to lose them. It really does. And they absolutely hate us now. I knew this was coming. Oh. Do I want to help us? I mean, I don't want to get involved in this fight at all. I just want to sit on my island. That's why I'm on an island. So I don't have to get involved in Europe. But if Spain comes calling again, we're going to need allies. Oh, jeez. So is Austria really the best ally? Did I screw this up? I totally screwed this up. Alright, well, just taking a look at the numbers, even if I do go along and help out my ally, there's no way we're going to win that fight. I don't have enough men to make up the difference. Austria, Moldavia, Teutonic Order, Saxe-Lauenburg, Lithuania, Riga, Sicily, Netherlands, Liege, Dutch Peru, California, Muscovy, and Assam. I mean, that seems like there's an awful lot going against the Holy Roman Empire. So we're gonna join in the war. I guess that angered the Castilian patriots. They really wanted us not to get involved. But as for if we're gonna do anything, man, I don't know. We got 55 heavy ships. We could throw those at somebody, I guess. Kind of come up and blockade Helgoland here. That's a possibility. They do have a few ports in that region, so I mean, you know, it would probably be a better bet to go and blockade Lolland or just get in this region so we block off the Hansa. Whew. But yeah, I think what we'll do is just use our fleet effectively. Oh man, those are good leaders, but I don't need a third leader. Nor do I necessarily want a third leader, but I wouldn't mind having an admiral. And this is where it gets tricky, right? So I've got to be mindful of the points that I'm spending. I guess we could get rid of William Clive here, although he is a better leader. So what we're going to do is, I guess you're engaged in combat, so we can't really get rid of you. Alright, we'll let this tick down. And then we will go no leader there. We will come up here and say no leader there. Then we'll come back because it's more likely that this guy is going to be getting involved in military matters. And then we can sack Hugh Wolf. I don't like doing that, but I don't even have the diplomatic power to get an admiral. It's going to be a couple of months before I do. Alright, well, we'll leave it like that. When we hit 50 diplomatic points, we can get ourselves an admiral, and then we can send our fleet to go do some stuff. Our decision to ensure that local privileges will be honored has meant that peasants are keen to defend their villages. This in turn has the added benefit of people being less resentful about serving in our military. Oh, how wonderful. 102 manpower, which, let's face it, doesn't really equal much. Heavy frigates. Those have got to be for the western trade zone, I would imagine. Wish I could remember. This old brain of mine. Come on, let's get to September. Perfect, okay. We are going to hire an admiral. He's not great, Admiral Warwick, but he'll do. And let's see where we need to send these guys. 25, 25, 21. That looks like we could easily take them. We're also going to need some fleet basing rights in the region. We're not going to get them from Sweden. We might be able to get them from Denmark, actually. Let's see here. Access actions. Fleet basing rights? You're not. You're not going to do that. Some sort of trust issues between us and the Danes. I mean, we could probably get fleet basing rights with our friends here, the Teutonic Order. Nope. Nope, they don't trust us either. Probably because we didn't honor the call to their enemies. See how much sense that makes. Yeah, we're gonna keep him because we don't lose prestige. And there we go. We've come in to help out our Netherland allies, and that should give them a nice big boost. 55 heavy ships. Hopefully we don't lose any. It looks like we haven't lost any yet, so that's good. And we'll slowly fight down the Swedish armada, which was quite successful. And did we lose any ships? It looks like we lost 2. That is a shame. And it looks like we're in the process of losing a 3rd. Damn it. I did not want the Majestic to get damaged. Okay, well, we'll send you back to... Man, I could really use some fleet basing. Why won't any of the people I'm fighting alongside let me base my crap there? Like, that's just not going to happen, is it? Oh, maybe it will. Let's see if we're able to get any sort of repairs. We could try the Dutch, too. And are you actually repairing? You are! Right? Yay! Okay, good. It's good. I was worried about the Royal Navy, but now I am not worried about the Royal Navy. Yay! Whoa, that's quite the zoom in on an area I did not need to zoom in. So let's go ahead and convert these suckers. And what is my current mission? Because I keep forgetting. Forge a claim on our rival's province so that we can attack them for it. It's cord now. So let's wait till the end of the month, see if that resolves itself. And if not, I might have to actually go. And what have we got there? 5 light ships. Not sure about your numbers there, Sweden. That might not be enough for doing what you think you want to do. We've already got the numbers. So let's send these guys up and around. Get these last 2. There we go. And we can send those guys up there as well. Ah, we can't. We will send a diplomatic candidate, because that's what I wanted to send originally. So, congratulations, Sweden, you crafty little bastard. You did some damage to my brand new ship. Better leave it. Don't really care about tax rates. Those are going to take a while to repair. Well, it looks like the Austrians came to our aid. Thank you, Austria. Battle of the South Norwegian Sea. We seem to be doing okay up there. Merge those guys together with you. And yeah, we're going to take a bit of a monetary hit here while our fleet isn't stationed. New governor in British Columbia. You can keep him. Then we don't lose prestige. Do that, and then we will protect trade in Western Europe. Take that, Spain. I guess we got to repair the Weymouth, so that'll get fixed up eventually. And how is the actual war going? Not well, although Austria here has got quite the stack of men in Wilmerwald there. Apologies for my horrible pronunciation. Alright, and our fleet is headed out, so that'll get us some more cash once they get there. I'm excited for that. Right, are you guys gonna get us some more money? Yes, okay, good. Not a lot, but every little bit counts. We can see the Swedish fleet up there, moving around. Really like the Majestic to get repaired. I'm imagining Marienburg here probably doesn't have great naval facilities. Oh, I stand corrected. It's got fairly decent naval facilities. Much better than the ones in England, anyway. That says something. Of course, they're a smaller state. They can afford it. Yeah, I really don't think sending any sort of expeditionary force would have been a good idea. Although I will take the Mediterranean fleet. I'm noticing that the Holy Roman Empire does have some lands in Italy that we can effectively blockade. We will, as always, take any excuse to invest in our naval forces. I guess we are making enough money now that we could get some advisors in there, so we'll get some global trade power increasing. Wow. Perhaps that was not a good idea. Especially without even looking at what my military candidate was able to do. That is strikingly expensive. 18 a month. That shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that detrimental to me. Not sure why I'm losing so much money. I can investigate that. I guess I could investigate it now. It's slowly coming up. Harbor fees, well, maybe. Fleet maintenance is definitely through the roof. Perhaps because we're repairing a ship. We were repairing ships before and we were making 30 some odd gold a month. Not really sure what could be going on there, but something certainly is. Perhaps having this fleet stationed is costing us money. I could see that. We're operating a fleet outside of port, so it's obviously going to be more expensive to do fleety things. And in January here, we should be able to get the Royal Navy out and ready. Perfect. And that right there is my target. That big old Swedish fleet. You want to hide in your harbor? You can go right ahead. So we're actually blockading Kurland and that's it. Are they just sitting there? Okay, well we can fix this. Well, I think it's safe to say the Royal Navy is showing her dominance. And I'm sure some people were saying a fleet of 55 ships was overkill. Ha ha ha. Overkill my sphincter. Yeah, let's keep it classy like that, shall we? Let's see if we can blockade the Hansa, because I imagine that'll be, you know, pretty devastating for the Holy Roman Empire here. Although they're not fighting anybody, so perhaps it wouldn't be devastating for the Holy Roman Empire. Where is your trade flowing out of then, man? Where is your trade base? Perhaps here? Maybe Mecklenburg. Can't really tell because they built buildings in every damn place. Well, let's see. Yeah, I would imagine that it would be Mecklenburg. Yeah, that's about as best we can do trade-wise for now. I mean, it probably isn't. If I invested energy and effort into it, we could definitely figure out a better way to do things. Oh, hello, Hausa. You're not allied with anybody anymore. Well, how dangerous for you. That is actually a fairly juicy target. Sitting at a military tech level of 23, and we're sitting at 30. We'd have no issues stomping them, and we would get slaves, and we would get grain and grain and grain and grain, and probably grain. We'd also need a conquistador as a leader instead of William Clive, so we could actually scope out that last territory. But it would also give us a much bigger footprint in Africa, which, you know, we don't necessarily need, but I'm not going to say that that would be a bad thing. Considering Mali is still tied to Portugal, it would also allow us to go into Kanem-Bornu here, which looks like it's just more grain. That's something to mull over for a few little moments. This fleet needs repairs, and we're going to send them home because they'll repair much quicker if we do that. And we're still able to keep up an effective blockade in Italy, so at least we're still doing something. If we take a look at the war score, it's just the Holy Roman Empire in Sweden, and the war enthusiasm for the Holy Roman Empire is looking like it's dropping, whereas even Austria is still sitting at high. So the only people who aren't excited about this war, it would appear, is Lithuania and the Netherlands. Which makes sense, they're smaller. Well, the Netherlands certainly is. Where the heck is Lithuania? Lithuania is getting curb stomped by Sweden, so that makes sense. Come on and help. Oh, I guess Muscovy's got their own problems. Sweden, a little bit of a powerhouse. That's surprising in a Paradox game. Ha ha ha. That's my best attempt at sarcasm there. Lithuania has accepted peace with their former enemies, the Holy Roman Empire. Lithuania will cede a bunch of land to Sweden. Well, maybe just one piece of land, but also annul all its treaties. That kind of sucks for poor old Lithuania. Well, it looks like Austria has incorporated what was left of the Teutonic Order. So good for them. Is our fleet back to 100%? It is. Well, it's time to go ship hunting again then. Oh, if we could catch that. I don't think we will, but if we could. Ho ho ho. Watch out, Sweden. We're coming for you. Where did they go? They're up there. Ming has entered a military coalition against us. That's fine. I'm not really planning on doing any more expansion in Ming, so we're okay. We have taken out the main Swedish navy, so now everything left is to just kind of pick apart their trade fleets is really all we're doing now. What have we got there? A Holy Roman Empire navy? Well, if we can sink it, we will. They're headed into the Gulf of Finland, so we will help out our friends Riga. Well, maybe not help them out, but we will certainly come along and sink whatever sunk the Regans. I don't know how that fleet was able to slip in. It must have been a very fancy timing issue. New governor in Cuba. We will send them a diplomatic candidate. Oh, I see where you're going. Nogai has got a civil war going on. Leave your port. Leave your port. Do it. Do it. You're not going to. Okay, well, we will sit here and just happily blockade Sweden for a bit. Perhaps lower their war enthusiasm. What would be nice, and it would be difficult to model properly, but if I kept my fleet, say, in Skagerrak there, or even in Kattegat, that the rest of trade, like, trade wouldn't really be able to be flowing in the Baltic, well, out of the Baltic. In and around the Baltic, Sweden and the Holy Roman Empire could still trade with each other just fine. But getting the international trade flowing, I would like to see that work out at some point. I think that would be a very nice feature. Recently, a young female troubadour has won fame across Europe for her unconventional music, was invited to perform at your court. The sight of her costume prompted the entire room to gasp. Her songs had countless instances of thinly disguised innuendo and references to unconventional sex acts. At one point, the Archbishop turned scarlet and stormed out of the room. The performance concluded. All eyes turned to you to hear your response. Provocative and mesmerizing commentary on romance and gender in contemporary society. Ridiculous trash for stupid people. Get out of my sight. We're going to take the administration points. We're not prudes. If, you know, the 19th century version of Lady Gaga wants to perform for my court, I'm going to let her. All right, well, we came to our Netherlands allies, or the allies of the Netherlands aid there. It was an awkward sentence. Let's go ahead and move you into here in a vain attempt to prevent Sweden from launching any more ships. So you see, basically, what I've done with my fleet here is prevent Sweden from doing anything, really. They can't do anything with their ships. They're stuck in the Baltic, which is kind of a useless theater, all things considered. Let's see if we can't go for a little bit of a ship hunt. And if I can convince them to get into one of these gulfs, well, wouldn't that just be grand? Looks like I might be able to pull this off here. Oh, really? You wanna leave the Gulf of Riga there? I don't think that's a good idea. Look at that. We captured a heavy frigate. Well, that's exciting. That'll help the Mediterranean fleet out immensely. a little more weight. We can see their exhaustion still pretty high, or their enthusiasm. It's still pretty high in Sweden, but the Holy Roman Empire has lost all interest. And, you know, other than the Netherlands, everybody in our alliance is thinking this war is still pretty gung-ho awesome pants. So, let me put it to you this way. The Alliance of the Willing, or the Coalition of the Willing, or I don't know. You know, whatever this alliance is called, what war is this? The Imperial Reconquest of Metz? So the Anti-Imperial League, that's what we call ourselves, the Anti-Imperial League, is thinking themselves pretty hot potatoes right now. We may be technically losing the war, but we're swinging it around in our direction. And I don't want to sound pompous or anything, but I'm fairly confident that the Royal Navy is playing a rather large part in the successes. I doubt it is. And in fact, setting up the Southern Baltic would be much better to get, you know, setting up here means we can effectively blockade the Empire better. And Sweden, we're not going to be able to effectively blockade because they got ports everywhere. So that's not about to happen. But we certainly can, and we certainly are, affecting quite a lot of the Imperial fleet. They've still got Mecklenburg, although that's being blockaded by the Netherlands, so good on you, Netherlands. It looks like our Austrian allies here might be having a bit of a problem with that light ship. And really, if I wanted to get crafty, this is the North Sea Fleet. I wish I called this something other than just Trade Squadron. But I'm going to send them in. They're heavy frigates. They should be strong enough to do what it is that I need them to do, which is sink those little ships. Right? I mean, I'm looking at you here, Austria. We're losing an awful lot of ships. And I hope they're not... We've lost... How many ships? We lost a few. And the Crescent is about to be sunk. So you're going to have to head back. We'll send you to Yorkshire. Yeah, one ship's not that big of a concern. If we even wind up in combat with them. Oh. 51 Netherlands ships came along and were like, we're going to help you out. So that's handy. We can actually assign you to go back to protect trade in the North Sea. Because once they're repaired, they'll just go back and do it. Which is pretty awesome. And I mean, unsurprisingly, it looks like a lot of the Swedish shipping industry is in the Baltic. So while they can build all the ships they want, go right ahead. Wow, a 3-star general, that would be lovely. You know, they're not going to be able to get through 53 heavy ships. So I think we're looking pretty safe there. We can take a look at some of these ideas that we're just kind of sitting around. Well, no, we need advanced production. We need to get that tech up. And it looks like the Austrians are actually able to put up a bit of a resistance here. Let's just check the ledger. The Ottomans are now in first place. The Holy Roman Empire is in second. Let's take a look at the manpower. Austria has 8. The Holy Roman Empire has 1,000. So if I had the transport ships, you know, now wouldn't be a bad time to send 20,000 troops in to just sort of help out. But I think contributing the fleet is going to be good enough. I guess this fleet's kind of useless now. It's not really doing anything, so we'll just send you back to Crete. We need to repair our captured ship anyway. Okay, so Holy Roman Empire accepted peace with their former enemies of Riga. So that's concerning. The anti-imperial coalition is getting smaller. However, I wouldn't exactly say that Lithuania or Riga were integral to our victory in this war of aggression. And after all, we do have, you know, right on our side here. We are fighting a defensive war. France has declared war upon Crimea. So, yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense. It might anger Muscovy, but you know what? France, for whatever reason, has looked to Eastern Europe and has said, this is where we're going. This is where our colonies are going. And very low war exhaustion. Oh no, very low war enthusiasm. Their war exhaustion is looking fairly high. The Commonwealth is, of course, involved, but I doubt they're doing anything. I would actually be quite surprised if my colonial nations were sending troops or ships or anything over. An alliance offer from the Iroquois. Well, absolutely, my friend. We will totally do that. And while I'm doing this, we are at war. What I might wind up doing is selling Buttonland to the Iroquois. I'm sure they'd be keen on the idea. And since Newfoundland is like, well, hold on, we don't need this land, then I'm totally fine just giving it to the Iroquois instead. Because I certainly don't need it, and I certainly don't want it. I'm trying to be a nice ruler. Newfoundland is making it difficult. So, which really doesn't make any sense. If you're selling land to your colonial nation, they should always say yes. Yeah, it's looking like basically Austria is coming along here and just actually having some success. Yeah. And our blockades are actually helping, which is nice. I doubt we'll get anything out of this, but it's nice to get that recognition, you know? Oh. Oh, hello. Are you just gonna sit there? Oh, yeah, you're returning to port. And you... Let's see if we can catch those guys, and we can. That's good. Head on up this way. Then we can catch those guys. And Elfsborg, gonna go out on a limb and suggest that's a captured ship, is about to sink. So we should probably return home for repairs. I guess we could, well, yeah, we'll send them there because it's close. Well, Yorkshire, because it's closer. And yeah, once the Royal Navy returns, this war's got itself sorted out. We can go back and help them if we need to. Have we got a... Anyway, yeah, we could just show our superiority against Hausa. Which is something that I might do here. They're not allied with anybody. They're not at war with anybody. And they're not exactly friends. We've only got a fort level 1, so I mean, they'd be able to come through and get us pretty quickly. Really, though, wow, a level 4 fort there? You got level 4 and 5 forts everywhere. That is certainly something I have not invested in. Except in Madagascar, of course. Where, I mean, really, in hindsight, it's pretty much a waste. Yeah, let's do it. Declare war, show superiority. And anybody want to come along? No. But I know the Commonwealth will. So let's send down a little bit of a siege force into Bonnie. Set them up. And then send the main force up to Gurma here to defend against any sort of incursions. Once we get that done, we can push in. Although we could really just move into Dendi here and protect against them. Let's do that. Might as well lay siege to it while we can. Sometimes a scandal would erupt in the royal court and would upset a monarch to the point where most diplomatic activity would come to a standstill until things quieted down a bit. Bribe an advisor, because we can afford to do it. What's money? We got tons, and we're not spending it, so we might as well bribe people. The lack of good map tools, or Correction. The lack of good maps or tools to create accurate maps would occasionally lead to overlapping claims of authority in border regions. These disputes were usually over very marginal areas, but could serve as a point of friction when monarchs decided to press the issue. No, we'll settle it. It's an unnecessary stability hit, granted. We can get back easily enough, and, you know, we'll get that tech eventually, but I have no real need nor a desire to, good, we're still looking good here. That's still going on. Good, good, good. Yeah, I don't have any desire to expand in Ming at the moment. So, yeah, this is all looking pretty groovy. I think this is going to be a very good place to leave the video. You know, involved in 2 wars, one we've just started, one that is winding down because our allies, as always, are kicking some serious ass. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.